Yes, morning, sir.
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir. Happy morning to all.
Yeah.
Happy morning, sir. So, welcome to the fifth day of our FDP, Sustainable Materials for Smart Cities, Challenges and Recent Trends. Today is the last day for our FDP. We are in the verge of closing all the sessions. And I personally thank all the participants for actively participate in all the sessions. And today our sessions are just two. That is the morning one and the 11:45. The another one. The afternoon sessions we have assessment, and after that 3:15 we are going to start the validity function. Hope you are receiving that invitations in your mail also. Uh, so in this regard, we can start our program. Um, Today's our keynote speaker is Dr. Palani Swami sir from NIT Surathkal from Department of Civil Engineering, and today's his topic is green synthesis of artificial aggregate for structural application. I welcome you, sir, Dr. Palani Swami sir. Uh, yes, sir. So we can start our session, sir, today. And today's our keynote speaker is Dr. Palani Swami sir, Department of Civil Engineering, NIT Surathkal. And today's topic is uh, green synthesis of artificial aggregate for structural applications. I welcome you, sir, on behalf of our Department of Civil Engineering and SR Engineering College and Center for Construction Methods and Materials. I welcome you, sir, for this FDP. It is a Sustainable Materials for Smart Cities, Challenges and Recent Trends, sponsored by our AACTE Atal Academy. Welcome you, sir. Welcome you once again. And I would like to call upon Ikramullah Khan to introduce our chief guest and keynote speaker to our participant.
Okay, sir. Good morning to one and all. So let me introduce our speaker, Dr. T. Swami sir, is working as assistant professor in the Department of Civil Engineering, IT, Karnataka, Surathkal. Sir has published more than 130 articles in journals and conference proceedings at national and international levels. Sir has 123 keynote lectures in various levels sponsored by AICTE, CSIR, DRDO, and DST, etc. Sir also secured funded projects from DST, SERB, DBT, AICTE, etc. At present, Sir is working on a funded project worth of 0.38 crores for the development of concrete battery. Sir has registered for 14 patents along with co-inventors. Under his PhD student was guided and 4 more are pursuing. Sir, areas of research includes development of sustainable material and micro characterization of the concrete. Sir has received 17 awards, including the most esteemed award of 2018 by Planning Commission of India, New Delhi, and the best faculty award in the year 2017, Bharat Ratna Mother Teresa Award in the year 2014, and the most Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam Gold Medal Award in the year 2015. And the Indian Concrete Institute honored him by awarding Outstanding Young Concrete Engineer title. With this brief introduction, I would like to hand over the session to Dr. T. Palani Swami, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, my dear friend, for the smart introduction. So, and thanks, Rajesh, Star Engineering College. First, I check the compatibility mode.
Yes, sir. Your voice is audible, sir.
Yeah, audible?
Yes, sir. Audible, sir. Your voice is audible.
Okay, just a minute.
Yes, sir. Your screen is visible, sir. Now.
Yeah. Where is?
Yes, sir. Your screen is visible, sir.
Yeah, yeah. Fine. I am searching pen.
Okay, sir. Okay, thank you, sir.
You can see the tick mark.
Yes, sir. We can able to see your PPT. Tick mark, yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, friends. Now we start now.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. I request all the participants, you can mute yourself.
Yeah. Then any problem is call interact with me, Rajesh.
Yes, sir. Surely, sir. We will be there, sir.
Okay, fine. We start now. Recording. Yeah, good morning, friends. Ronald, for this 5 days online faculty development program, FTBR, Sustainable Materials for Smart Cities, Challenges and Recent Trends. Workshop ID 345 is sponsored by AICT, Atal, New Delhi, India, and organized by the Department of Civil Engineering at SR Engineering College, Telangana. So this is a very happy moment. I share some research findings, what we did in that earlier. These things discussed in this forum. First, I submit sincere thanks to AICT giving the opportunity to present the topic in this forum. And extend my sincere thanks to the management of SR Engineering College, and a special thanks and acknowledge submitted to my dear friend Rajesh and his HOD and other dean, principal, faculty, and non-teaching faculty members of that SR Engineering College, and participants all over the world. So good morning to all. So today we are going to discuss about the mechanisms in fiber reinforced concrete and how these mechanisms applicable for our structural systems, especially for the beam column joint. So somebody asked how far this topic is related to the sustainable materials for smart cities. I can link little bit. So we are using the fiber reinforced concrete here. Especially, we are using the natural fibers, especially for the basalt fiber composites here. So if I add some basalt fiber composite in the structural system, what will happen? So how it maybe transfers to this material, then element to the up to the structures. This kind of things we want to discuss. So definitely minimum 10 to 15% is mapped with your program team. But also initially I thought put that artificial aggregate. So yesterday I spoke with a program coordinator. So some people in touch with that also. That's why I immediately changed the topic. Sorry for the inconvenience. Now I go for exactly mechanism in fiber reinforced concrete. So nearly about 50% maybe civil engineering trade in this forum. A little bit more about that fiber reinforced concrete, and moreover, most of them will know about that concrete. Okay, simply in the layman also you can understand some fiber we add into concrete. This simply is called as a fiber reinforced concrete. Different type of fiber. So that also is a different kind of varieties. So don't go for in data. So what is a necessity to study the fiber reinforced concrete mechanisms? So I reviewed most of the paper and I went for most of that PhD thesis as well as MTech thesis. The most of these researchers find that conclusion is they improve the compression strength, so and so, that reduce the compression strength, so and so, the tensile strength increases, so and so, like that. So that kind of things is no need at present, because we know all. If we add the fiber into the concrete, so definitely little or less compression strength will improve, and a little bit tensile strength improve. So apart from that, what is happening inside the concrete? This kind of things, very less people is pointed out. For that purpose, I put this PPT for your screen for our discussion. Now, introduction. The fiber reinforced concrete, we have a different kind of introductions. I taken the ACA. American Concrete Institute, 116-2000. The plain concrete fails in brittle manner at the occurrence of the crack. So all of you well known about that. So well known about that. This is ordinary plain cement concrete. It's fail the brittle manner. Now the lot of the research is going on at present. How this concrete material make it as a ductile one. How they make it material is like ductile one. The lot of research is going on. So basically concrete is the brittle in nature. Brittle in nature. It is possible to make it as a partial ductile. What are the possibilities there to make it the concrete brittle to the ductile? Brittle to the ductile. It may be general people. What is brittle means? If any material is falling some height, okay, it's making small pieces. It's broken into small pieces. That is called brittle. Simply keep it in your mind. So, suppose it's taken as a glass tumbler or jar. It's okay. What will happen? It's put in the dough. It's maybe broken into small pieces. Right? So this is the brittle. Keep it in mind and generally. Okay? Then ductile is nothing but if I can apply the load like a rubber. Okay? If I apply the load, it's go back, coming back, go up, coming back like this. So it's have this too much time to take to failure. What kind of things is a ductile? For example, you take the steel rod. You may put in the steel rod in the ground, it's maybe 1 meter, 2 meter, 100 meter. Small scratches or small batches I have seen in the surfaces of the steel rod, but not broken into 2 pieces or 3 pieces or a number of pieces. So simply you can keep it in mind that is a ductile, that is a brittle. So don't confuse with other materials and some. So now the concrete is basically brittle. So how it's make it as a ductile? So what are the methods available? What is the problem if the concrete is maybe it's a ductile, it's a brittle in nature? So what is the need? So we want to extend this brittle material to the ductile materials. So that is the scenario. That's the things we want to address today. Right? Okay. The plain concrete fails in the brittle manner or the occurrence of the cracking. The ductile fibers in FRC, that is a fiber reinforced concrete, continue to carry the stress well beyond the cracking, that's maintaining the structural integrity. So the Italian National Agency of UN 11039 also mentioned this is the definition of fiber reinforced concrete. Now look at the figure. Look at the first figure. So this is the typical low deflection curve. Typical low deflection curve. Suppose I can take the concrete alone, apply the load, the stress is very less. Our deformation is very less. You look at the x-axis, this is y-axis. You may be consider the deflection, or it's maybe strain, or in this case a load or stresses. You take whatever it may be. So you up to this load, the movement, the deflection is very less. Very less. You can't imagine around up to this 3 mm, here 0.00 nm, like that. So the concrete is very less in strain. Very less in strain. You can see this graph also, the stress strain curve of concrete. So it's go up like this, immediately it's coming down. So in case the steel, you can see the steel like this, you can see like this. So the huge area you can get the steel, but in case the concrete, very less area you can get. So what is the problem means, if the load is higher, the deflection is very less. So after reaching some load, it's immediately is coming down. So this is the typical failure of brittle, failure of the concrete. So now what is the need means, we want to improve this deflection characteristics of the concrete. So if the concrete is maybe 5 mm, 3 mm, up to 10 mm or 15 mm, it's very best for us. When this means, so if it is any earthquake, it will comes. Earthquake will comes. This all the entire building is made up of glass. Okay, what will happen? One small shake it will come. That small shake it will come. What will happen? Entire building will be collapse. Entire building will be collapse. Some people is gathered inside or sitting or walking inside this hall, the glass building. What will happen? Everything is big collapse. This may be lost their lives. So for that we need some initiation, or we need some induction, or we need some warning. The structure tends to failure. So how can get the warning? The structures may not be use any alarms like key like that. So that is smart system available, but this is very costly. Now all the human being, they have the nature to notice the building always. Suppose for example, any shake will come. Ready? Shake will come. The people first see this surroundings and will look at the top. What happening in the beam? First the beam tends to crack. The small crack initiate. The people aware some problem is happening in the building. Again, the crack it's been propagate. It's a length as well as weight. So what will happen? Again, the people is looking the building or the beam. So the crack is further is widened and increase the depth. What will happen? Okay, the people is stored in the mind. So we want to escape from the building, or we want to quit away from the building. So which material gives this kind of warning? This kind of warning, large deformation, this sudden, not sudden failure. It's failure stage by stage, mm by mm, and give this more deflection. Then the material, its fail is 100%. That kind of material is very useful for the structural engineering systems. Structural system. So how I apply this kind of materials? The solution is fiber reinforced. So add the fiber inside the concrete, its behavior will be changes. How it means? So this is for, look at this figure. This is exact brittle material. Brittle metal. If I can add the fiber, inside the concrete. Up to this, no changes. After that, you'll come back, add the brittle add the fiber. The graphs is coming like this. Now, previously we have only triangle shape area. Now you can get more area. So the fiber is working after this area. After this, the fiber tends to work. Okay. Now the brittle nature material is come back again as a ductile material. It's in addition of fiber. Now look at this is the concrete phase. This is first the concrete. So the fiber reinforced concrete, fiber reinforced concrete. This is before the loading. What will happen is joining together. So after the load is acts, so this two pieces, piece 1 and piece 2 is connected by means of fibers. Okay. If the fiber is not provided, what will happen? It's maybe failure the two portions like this. So no warning is given. So adding the fiber inside, this fiber is bridging this concrete as well, two pieces is holding the loader after even the failure also. Okay. Now the orientation fiber also is important. You look at the third figure. The orientation of fiber also important. If the fiber is length is greater, there is no uses. The length of the fiber is very less also, no uses. So what is the optimum size of fiber is putting in that. These are the things we want to discuss. Again, introduction, types of fiber in FRC, that is a fiber reinforced concrete. So many researches which are very useful for this. One is a metallic fiber, another one is a non-metallic fiber. Metallic fiber, non-metallic fiber. The metallic fiber is nothing but high modulus fiber. What is the fiber? High modulus fiber. Non-metallic fiber is the low modulus fiber. Scientists use the high modulus fiber, improve the flexural toughness and the ductility of the concrete. That's the place we go for the metallic fiber. That is a steel, carbon, glass, so on so. Then comes to the non-metallic fiber, that is called a low modulus fiber, enhance the fresh concrete properties and they reduce the plastic shrinkage cracking. For example, polypropylene, cellulose, nylon, polyester. So this kind of fiber you can use for this metallic. For example, back I can use beam. Suppose I want to improve this tactile behavior of the concrete or repair rehabilitation purpose, you go for this fiber. That is called as metallic fiber. That is a high modulus fiber. So where we can use this low modulus fiber or non-metallic fiber. So the plastic, in case of rheological properties or fresh properties of the concrete, flowability or shrinkage properties, plastic shrinkages, these kind of things, we can go for the non-metallic fiber. This fiber is very small in length. So that is the uses of fiber. Next is the introduction, the properties of fiber in FRC. This is not made. This is reported by Dr. Neem Kumar Bandia. He was reported different type of fiber and different tensile strength, tensile modulus, tensile strength, fiber diameter, alkali stability, reactive so on so. So we are also crossed a number of fiber, the asbestos fiber. So you can see this asbestos sheet using for this roofing. That fiber is called as asbestos fiber. This tensile strength nearly have 300 to 600 to 3600 MPa. Then carbon fiber, this is a high strength fiber also. Tensile modulus is also high. Even we have the 520 high tensile strength, the carbon fiber. We did some work in the carbon fiber for the repair and rehabilitation of the work. What we did means, this is normal beam. Look at this is considered as this is a beam, right? It's a cross section of the beam, can like this. Okay. Then carbon fiber and mat is available. What we did means carbon mat. So we paste this carbon mat in the bottom as a repair material. What will happen? We did a very good work. But also this carbon materials, this is neutral axis. Neutral axis. The D/4 the neutral axis is putting like this. What will happen? And I extend this carbon sheet up to this. What will happen? So this kind of things work also we did in our laboratory. Very good results it came. So if this kind of thing is very useful for the repair rehabilitation of work. And also one fantastic study was done on of my research scholar, Dr. Prasantani. He was doing very good work in this carbon fiber. Like this, this is the T-beam, like this, the same concept, T-beam. So this is the reinforcement. Remove the reinforcement for repair. Remove the reinforcement. Up to remove the cover. Right, the cover up to the neutral axis, including the cover. We place the carbon sheet. Carbon sheet. So what will happen? So before and after, how it's the diagram it changes, stress diagram. So if the fiber reacts, what is the stress diagram? So how can come to moment resisting capacity? So these kind of things we did in the carbon. That also we did it. And also armored fiber. This also we did armored fiber. So what is the problem means it's absorb the more amount of water. That is the problem. Your armored fiber. We tried. But in case of whenever we need the dry concrete, it's maybe the concrete place in the wet places, we can go for the armored fiber. Because the tensile strength is good, nearly about 2700 MPa. The tensile modulus so also like that. Then we cross the polypropylene fiber also. Polypropylene fiber. This fiber adding in that RCC rectangular beam, how its performance and the beam column joint, the performance also was did. One of my MTech students was did this kind of work. This MTech student. So polyarmored fiber we not did. Polyester also we did. Rayon not did. Polyvinyl alcohol we did. That's excellent work. And we got PhD also. That is a polyvinyl alcohol PVA. Polyacrylate nitrate. This also good. Polyacrylonitrile. So this is these two. It's very useful. Improve this post cracking behavior of the concrete. So the carbon fiber is something improve the flexible strength of the concrete. And the polyethylene, this is useful products. We are not doing these things. Then polyethylene pulp, no. High density polyethylene, carbon steel, no. Stainless steel, no. And air glass fiber. So what is the problems adding this kind of some fiber? Especially this is artificial fiber in the concrete beams. So react with this aggregate, alkyl aggregate reactions. Yeah, the alkylate spawns in this in around the fiber. So what will happen means it's reduce this durability of the concrete. That also keep it in our mind if you chooses the fiber. Now FRC type, fiber reinforced concrete type. Steel fiber reinforced concrete, that is called as FRC, fiber in SFRC. Then glass fiber reinforced concrete, GFRC. Then natural fiber reinforced concrete, NFRC. Then synthetic fiber reinforced concrete, NFFRC. Basalt fiber reinforced concrete, BFRC. I want to deal more about that BFRC and SFRC. That is a steel fiber reinforced concrete and a basalt fiber reinforced concrete. Then first I look at steel fiber reinforced concrete. Introduction. SFRC is widely used in the structures where the fiber reinforcement is not essential for integrity and safety. Fiber reinforcement is not essential for integrity and safety. So you may be asked the question. So I can remove 100% of the reinforcement by replacement of steel fiber reinforced. So very difficult, but some research is going on. Here also did the research. So we want to reduce this shear reinforcement. Around 40% is possible to adding the fiber inside the concrete. We can reduce this shear reinforcement also possible, especially for the deep beams. So the slab grades are rock slope stabilization, repair, etc. So one more very important application is industrial flooring. There is a wide applications. Professor Ravindra Gittu, IIT Madras, did a lot of extensive work in that FRC, especially for the floor applications. I acknowledge him. So what is the advantages is now at present most of the goods we want to store in the warehouse areas, especially for the Amazon and other delivery agencies. They want to store some goods in that particular warehouse areas. That areas, a lot of heavy vehicles and loaded vehicles movement is more in that flow. At that time, we need the special flooring. Or one place is to store the material, other place the vehicle moves. One place is high weights, other place is low weight. Lot of up and downs, slow integrities. We want to ensure the safety. For that purpose, we go for the steel fiber reinforced concrete floor. This technology transfer road also. I am not touching regarding this things. So I touch about the fiber reinforced concrete explosive for the structural applications. Then SFRC as a substitutes for the shear reinforcement in the structural members do not cover the main building course. This is not mainly cover the building course. So this information taken from that Dr. Deepthi Ranjan Shakur, IIT Madras, IIT Delhi. Then the steel fiber enhance the post-cracking behavior. What is the post-cracking behavior and toughness of the concrete? What is the post-cracking behavior? Now, look at the sustained curve. So we can well define the curve of this steel. This is the yield point, upper yield point, lower yield point, the strain hardening point, strain softening point, so on. So the steel fiber has post-cracking behavior. Up to this, no use. That fiber. So after this only, this fiber roll tends to starts and toughness increases. Suppose I can apply the load the cement repeatedly, for that time it stay or withstand more load. That's called as a toughness. That is main aim, or that is uses of steel fiber in that concrete. Now, what is the basics of SFRC? That is the steel fiber reinforced concrete. They improve this mechanical properties of the concrete. Tensile strength may be enhanced 10 to 50%. The compressive strength more or less is unaffected. The most of this paper you can see the fiber adding in the concrete not affect any compressive strength of the concrete. That is sure. Why? I want to discuss it. Okay. Now, what is the main parameters involving for the FRC? The fiber dosage, fiber aspect ratio, tensile strength of the fibers, and the concrete compression strength. So these are the main parameters mostly involving in the fiber reinforced concrete. First, I look at fiber reinforced fiber dosage. So what is the need to control the dosage of the fiber? Some people working in the fiber reinforced concrete, you can see, you maybe cross this kind of things. The fiber, the reinforced fiber is replaced by means of mostly is the volume fraction. Volume fraction, not a weight fraction. Why not consider the weight fraction? Why consider the volume fraction? Means, for example, you take the cotton fiber. Cotton fiber. You take 1 kg of cotton fiber. How much quantity it will come? You may be agreed. Huge quantity of fiber it will come. Fiber it will come. Suppose you take the steel 1 kg, very less quantity it will come. So the weight is a very important factor. So that's why the most of the fiber is taken by means of volume. Volume, that is called as a volume fraction. Volume fraction. For example, 1 meter cube of the concrete, 1 meter cube of the concrete, how much volume of fiber you want to add or replace or whatever it may be. That is called as a volume fraction. This may be 0.25, 0.5, 0.75 up to not more than 2%. Volume fraction. Okay. So that is called as a fiber dosages. So we want to control the fiber dosage and fiber aspect ratios. So what is the need to control the fiber dosages? If add the fiber it's more into the concrete, first problem, balling effect will come. Balling effect will come. The fiber is maybe is sticky, what we call needle in nature. It easily tends to bend. It's unable to easily flow into the concrete. It's take or absorb the concrete and it's make it as a ball. It's rotating like this. It's not easily dispersed in the concrete, entire concrete. So the fiber dosage is a must. If the fiber is maybe overdose dosages, what will happen means it's affect the properties of the transition zone. Affect the properties of the transition zone. You may be working that fiber. You go to shoot thorough knowledges about in that fiber dosages. Okay, how can control the fiber dosages by means of aspect ratio also? Aspect ratio is nothing but what is that? Lateral dimensions divided by linear dimensions. That is nothing but L by D ratio. Suppose I take this is my fiber. The diameter is D. Diameter is D. The length is L. The length is L. So L by D is my aspect ratio of the fiber. L by D ratio. So this also important. Some L by D ratio is very less. What will happen? It's not control this macro crack. The fiber length is very small. It improves this fresh property or rheological properties of the concrete, especially for the shrinkage, creep, so and so, plastic shrinkage, like that. If the fiber is very lengthy in nature, it has the macro cracks. If the too much length is greater than pore segregate, that also creates lot of problems. So fiber dosage, fiber aspect ratio is a very important factor. Another one is tensile strength of the fiber. Tensile strength of the fiber. Suppose I want to improve flexural rigidity or flexural strength of the beam. That's the place that tensile strength of the fiber is a very important. Very important. Suppose I want to improve shrinkage property of the concrete. Don't worry about that. Much more worry about the tensile strength of the fiber. Okay. Now you want to take small fiber. You want to take. So that is the thing. Suppose we want to take the shear. We want to improve the shear properties of the concrete. According to that, we can choose the fiber. Okay. So that is a very important. All fiber is not suitable. Okay. Another is compressive strength. Compressive strength. These are also the main parameters to involve in the FRC. Okay. Now come to this figure. Then this is green color. You see usual concrete. That is a conventional concrete. So all of you know about the graph. This is strain. This is a stress. The graph may be like this. So what is this effect? So graph is looks like this. On my another graphs, another graph like this. So red color graph and blue color graphs are difference. Okay, this is strain softening effect. This is strain hardening effect. The strain softening effect, strain hardening effect. So we want to look at this concrete most probably with the strain softening effect. If add the fiber, this may be like this. There is a strain hardening effect. For example, if no fiber adding in the concrete, we can get the curve like this. We can get curve like this. If add the fiber in the concrete, we can get curve like this. So what is the benefit of we can get extra curve here means what is the benefit? We can get the extra curve here. So you may be thinking about that. You already studied the strength of material also. Strength of material also. So below the curve, this curve, that is called as a strain energy. You can remember strain energy. So above the curve is complementary strain energy. The strain energy. So when the strain energy is more, the area bounded to the curve is more, the energy is more. When this area is increased, if add this kind of fiber, the areas will tends to improve. So automatically the load carrying capacity of the member increases, the bigger of this concrete member also increases. So this area contributed by means of fiber. That's why beginning I told this is the this is improve the post cracking behavior. So after this is yield low, and after that it improves. So ordinary concrete is coming down suddenly. This is going gently. So this is strain hardening effects, strain softening effects. Okay, this is the role of fiber reinforced concrete. Then what is FRC improvements as per ACA 544 1996? It improves the compression strength little bit, elastic modulus, then better crack resistance. So if in the ordinary concrete, it tends to immediately fail. But if add the fiber, the small warning is given, after that only it tends to fail. Then high crack control also. That is important. What is a crack control? Resistance is nothing different. It may be different from the crack control. Crack control. If you apply the No, it takes more time. It take more time to fail the structures. So it's a control the crack and the propagation of the crack also is controlled. Then better durability, there is a common point. Good fatigue life. So fatigue load you can apply, add the fiber, definitely improve this life of the structures. Then high resistance impact and abrasion. Impact and abrasions, this is also valid point. The controls shrinkage and expansions. Add the fibers, it's a control shrinkage and expansion. Thermal characteristics. Thermal characteristics and better fire resistance. If you add the fiber inside this concrete, what will happen? How this debonding between the fiber and the concrete and the reinforcement and the fiber, these kind of things may be studied. These are some trust areas that at first. Then, main parameters. The fiber causes a less brittle failure as comparison failure of the concrete is related to the tension failure. Since tensile stresses causes growth of pre-existing micro cracks in the concrete, the fiber bridging action helps the stresses continue to increases. So fiber bridging mechanisms. So we want to see detail that fiber bridging mechanisms. These only improve the behavior of the structures. Then addition of the fibers changes these consequences depends upon this changes this consistency depends upon this aspect ratio of the fiber, the ratio of the length to the diameter. Then physically difficult to include the fiber with the aspect ratio of more than 50 is very difficult because the concrete contains about 70% volume of aggregates particles which cannot be penetrated by the fibers. That is the problem. It's easy. Already we have that coarse aggregates unable to disperse the fiber in between the coarse aggregate. That is another issue. Then another one is main parameter for FRC. This is very important. The longer fiber of smaller diameter. Longer fiber of smaller diameter will be more efficient in hardened FRC. Hardened FRC, but will make this fresh FRCs difficult to cast. Difficult to cast. For example, the length is more, the diameter is very less. Length is more, diameter is less. It's very useful for the hardened properties of the concrete. This kind of fibers improves the structural performance of the concrete. Structural performance of the concrete. What is the problem means? If the fresh properties will be changed. For example, I want to pump the concrete. I have this kind of FRC fibers, the steel fibers. So the very lengthy fiber, it's affect to the pump of the concrete. That is another issue. Hence, the mixing design of FRC often requires for this often the consistency is needed. So now at present, a lot of chemical also available. Then bond between matrix and fibers. What is the other parameters we want to consider? Bond between matrix and fibers. The bond strength for the straight rounded steel fibers rarely exceeds 4 MPa, but the mechanical deformation of the fiber, the bond slips can be avoided during the fiber failure. So the bond slipping mechanisms also very important mechanisms in the fiber reinforced concrete. Then maximum size aggregate. In concrete makes the particular addition should be paid to this determination of this parameter that influence this phenomenon of the interlock. That is important. Makes the aggregate size also important with the fiber reinforced concrete. Now, this is the source of this figure. The concrete built without shear reinforcement already told a lot of cases going on. You can see this some flexural crack and a flexural shear crack and web shear diagonal cracks also. So you can add this kind of fiber. It's reduce this kind of failure in the systems. The flexural crack, flexural shear crack, and web shear diagonal cracks also you can rectify. Now, presence of steel fiber exposure. Okay, what will happen? The presence of steel fiber strongly influence the cracking behavior. Strongly influence the cracking behavior. Increase the number of both flexural and shear cracks. Increase this number of both flexural and shear cracks. So this may be very advantageous for us now. Both flexural cracks increase number of both flexural cracks and shear cracks. What is the where this advantages means? Suppose you take this any bridge, any beam, the single crack is failure. This material is sensitive or the structure is maybe failure. The single crack, it's no advantages for us, especially civil engineers. So this beam gives a multiple cracks. It takes more time than tends to failure. That is a more advantages for the civil engineers. So this kind of property you can see in that steel fiber reinforced concrete. Okay, that is a major advantages. Then okay, another one is the additional fiber could not always lead achieve this flexural failure, but although fibers beneficially and substantially improve this crack and deformation behavior as well as ultimate state, this does not always happen. So depending on the fiber, it will be changes. Another one is the post-cracking behavior. Post-cracking behavior. One is the aggregate bridging. That is always present in the plain concrete. Another one is the fiber bridging, which contributes to the energy distribution of capacity in the concrete. Now, mechanisms. One is the aggregate bridging mechanisms. This is not in mind. This is proposed by Shaw et al. 1995. The aggregate bridging for the plain concrete. For example, there's different stages we can see: aggregate slicing, the crack deflection, the crack surface roughness induced the closure, then crack tip bulled by this void, and crack branching. So these are the some mechanisms, sub-mechanisms involved in the aggregate bridging. What is the slicing means? First is load is applied. What will happen? It tends to smooth in this direction. It's like you can see this plate tectonic movement. So the two plates moving together and the huge forces act as long time. What will happen? It may be overlap like this, or it may be slicing like this. So if the load is applied into the concrete, first the phenomenon is called as crack slicing. Slicing is not like a teeth. So it's going one by up like this. Going one by one, like slicing like this. Movement like this. So you can see this classify the crack also. Micro crack and the macro crack in the system. Some fiber it arrests the micro crack. Some fiber is arrests this macro crack. That also possible. Now this is the I can represent here. This figure. Look at this figure. This is the main crack. This is the main crack. That is always someplace there's a macro crack also. And there is a micro crack. So this kind of snap discontinuity in between the cracks like this inside the concrete you can see. So we can see this kind of crack even in the CSSL also. That is a micro characteristic of the concrete. That is an entirely different study. Don't bother about that. You can see some micro cracks inside the concrete. So where is the weakest zone? So in this gap between the concrete tends to propagate. Another one is that it's maybe have some aggregate. So the aggregate is very strong, when compared to this stress. What will happen? This tends to deviate and overlook the aggregate. So moving like this is one mechanism. So if you maybe add aggregate, you want to look at this my failure stresses is greater than the aggregate stress or less than the aggregate stress. So now you can create the model. What is this optimum size, optimum strength of the aggregate with respect to tensile strength of the, or with respect to a tensile strength, compressive strength, whatever may be, depending upon the behavior. So is less than or greater than. So these kind of things we create the model. That are also possible. Next, even the further it crack tends to propagate, further crack tends to propagate. So its cracks is going like this. In between, we have that aggregate. Even the aggregate is very strength. For example, you can see this first figure. Yeah. So look at this middle figure. You can see. So this is the bridging mechanisms. What's the bridging? In between, we have the fiber. In between, we have the fiber. It acts as a bridging mechanism of the part 1 and the part 2. Similarly, the aggregate act as a bridging mechanism, bridging between two cracks. Between the crack openings. The aggregate crack openings in between the crack openings. So aggregate bridging. Then one more point we want to consider: the friction between the crack faces. The friction between the crack faces. We can also possible to measure. So what is the friction between the aggregate faces and as well as the crack faces also. Then other one is a void. This is a main crack void. This is a crack tip bulging. So the crack tends to here the voids. So it immediately tends to move like this, and the crack is maybe extend. Another one is secondary crack tip. One is the diameter in this direction. Another one is the aggregate is very strong in nature, tends to move in this direction. Another one is crack branching. What is a crack branching means? Suppose this is the source of the crack. So if further its load is acting applied here, this crack is branches like this. Again, further its load is acting here. One more, the hinge mechanism is developed. Again, branch like this. So these kind of things you can see in that scanning electron microscope. It's a possible you can see. And at present, the advanced machineries of it, that is a image, like a camera. It's captured the specimen, the microsecond. You can see what is the movements of the crack and all those things. That is a DSP, digital signal processing. Later, advanced equipments available. Using that, we can see that what is the crack branching mechanisms. Another mechanism is so these are the figures you can see. This is not mine. This is also copied from net. I can give the sources also here. Yeah, D and that is. So the other process Shah. These are the people did the very good mechanisms, right? You can see this slicing and wrapping or blending, the deflection of knitting, then aggregates, spalling, then crack facing or pinning, the crack face or pinning, aggregate or grain bridging, then branching and crossing, crack, rim friction, failed or sealed. So n number of mechanisms. I also not working in this much more area. We are working in the crack, what we call crack bridging mechanisms alone. Okay. So we have the number of potential for the young researchers. Can take one number of research we have to the test facilities. How can these things is quantified? Maybe things given here. Now, yeah, these are the things I want to take more time to explain here. So, what is the role of long fiber and the short fiber. What is the role of long fiber and the short fiber? So before that, we can classify the crack, the two types. One is that micro crack, another one is a macro crack. Micro crack, another one is a macro crack. So micro crack, this is a discontinuous one. Look at, this is the micro crack, like this, micro crack. This is white patch is called as a macro crack. This is the macro crack. Okay, so n number of small cracks, micro cracks, the present in the concrete matrix. Concrete matrix. If you add the small fiber, especially for the small and simply is called as a short fiber. Short fiber, it controls this behavior of micro cracks. Control the micro cracks. You go for the long fiber, it controls the macro cracks. Is the fiber bridging mechanisms. Fiber bridging mechanism. For simply, our forefather also did like this. So in case of this is the cloth. Okay, it's maybe tear. This direction, tear like this. So what they did using the needle and twine, you can stitch like this. Similarly here, it's very easy mechanisms. So micro cracks is controlled by means of short fiber. Macro is controlled by means of longer fibers. So this is the typical mechanisms. So the load is applied in this direction. Load applied in this direction. So in between this is the role of fiber. Now, what is the look at this figure? The right side, this figure. What is the role of microfibers and large fibers? Microfibers and large fibers. First, I take this figure A. Take the figure A. I put that fiber, long fiber in the concrete. What kind of mechanism I can find? This is very important. Maybe research it's very useful. I put this longer fiber or long fiber into the concrete. Basically, these arrest this macro crack. So I can plot tensile strain to tensile stress, tensile strain to tensile stress. This is the typical figure example for this. Tensile stress and tensile strain. Okay. Now, if the no fiber, what will happen immediately? Tense comes down. This very less area it will come. Okay. Now I can apply I can add the fiber, length fiber, large fiber. What will happen? The curves is maybe like this. Curves maybe like this. So we can get the more. What we can get? More for prepare rehabilitation of work. First, to try to find what type of stresses, excess stresses have in that particular building or particular member. If that we need to improve this more tensile strain, we need the most tensile strain means you go for that larger fibers. You look at more tensile strain. Similarly, then I can add where we go for the small fibers or the short fiber. If you look at this curve, this is the no fibers. No fibers. No fibers. This is the with the micro fibers like this. Whenever we need more tensile stress. Stress is a very predominating factor. You go for the micro fibers. So, what is the optimal dosage of micro and macro fibers? You may be do the conductor test. Okay, this is a very interesting area. You may be pointed out, or you may be keep it in your mind. It is a very useful thing. Okay, so if you need that more tensile strain, you go for micro. Then we need the combination of these two, we can get the very good results. we can get that very good results. We can improve the tension stress as well as the strength. That is called as a hybrid fiber. Hybrid fiber reinforced concrete. One of my research scholars did the work. Dr. Priya did the work in this hybrid fiber reinforced concrete system, especially for the beam column joint applications. So, okay. Now come to this figure. Come to this figure, big figure. You can see the plain concrete, the failures like this. Plain concrete failures like this. So we have the macro crack growth, the micro crack growth, macro crack growth, and all those things. This is a strength, this is a stress. So you go for the fiber reinforced concrete, the crack becomes like this. Again, it starts up strain hardening and strain softening effect we can get. Then high performance fiber reinforced concrete, or we can add hybrid fiber reinforced concrete. We can get this very good graph. We can look at that more deformation in this x-axis. More deformation, even though stress level is the same. Stress level is the same. We can get more deformations. So this control the micro crack as well as macro crack behaviors. Okay. Now look at aggregate bridging mechanisms. So aggregate bridging mechanisms. You look at this figure. Look at the figure. I can how this is the direction of crack is moving towards the concrete. Okay, this is the crack. So first initial width of the crack here. Okay, the crack width is very wide, is very high. It's called as a macro crack. The still no is mentioned, which is a macro crack is a micro crack. It's not mentioned exactly what is the size of the crack for the micro and the macro. Then the crack tends to propagate. What will happen means, so the crack moves in this, for example, move in this direction, and we have some aggregate. This aggregate acts as a bridging of the crack. Okay, that's mechanism is called as aggregate bridging mechanisms. Also acting as the bridging mechanisms to fill the fiber reinforced concrete. For example, you may be some research scholars maybe not on this point. It's very useful. So, what is the stress profile of fiber reinforced concrete during propagation of crack? Now, what is this bridging stresses? I can take this sigma B. So, what is this? How much forces recur? This crack tends to propagate. What is the profile of the stresses? Initially, the more stress we have, the crack tends to propagate. The stresses will be less. Now, when it's the reach is equal to means when is the stresses in the concrete is equal to the stresses in this profile is maybe straight. So you may be develop what is the stress strain or bridging stress of the fiber reinforced concrete in that in the system. So due to this macro crack as well as micro crack is possible. So if we want this increase this length also, so very good. So for that, the aggregate size also very important factors for this aggregate bridging mechanism. Simply we can say this is crack is going on. So in between we have the aggregate, this aggregate bridging the crack. That is called as aggregate bridging. Another one is very important. Strain hardening effects. Another one is a strain softening effect. So already I told you that if add the fiber into the concrete, improve this strain hardening effect as well as strain softening effect also. If you add some combination of fiber, hybrid fiber, it improves this mechanical property as well as structural properties of the concrete. For example, up to this, no changes. Up to this area, no changes. After that, the concrete tends to accelerate in this upward direction. That is called as strain hardening effect. You can see in the steel also, strain hardening effect. Strain hardening effect. After that, it's coming down like this. That is called as strain softening effect. So the lot of research is going on in this area. Strain hardening effect, strain softening effect. So these two parameters highly depending upon the fiber. Highly depending upon the fiber. If at the single fiber or only one fiber, it may be improve strain hardening effect alone or strain softening effect alone. Or it may be in that multiple fiber and hybrid fiber with respect to the different aspect ratio, its behavior may be different. So if I add fiber in the hybrid fiber, my graph comes like this, means it's better for me. Better for me. So you may be interested work in this area. Strain softening effect of fiber reinforced concrete. So we need further lot of research on what are theories is required. For example, the orientation of fiber also important for this kind of failures. So maybe explore further. We initiate this research in this area. We are not processed up to this because we have the lack of facilities of the instruments. So most of the engineering colleges we have, there is a stress controlled machine, the universal testing machines. So we need the strain controlled machines. Then only we can find this kind of things. Okay. Now another one is aggregate bridging is over. Next bridging is fiber bridging. The energy dissipation depending upon the various parameters. One is matrix fracture and matrix spalling. Matrix fracture and matrix spalling. Other one is fiber matrix interface debonding. Fiber matrix interface debonding. Another one is post debonding friction between fiber and matrix. Fiber pull-off. Another one is fiber fracture and fiber abrasion and plastic deformation or yielding of the fiber. So first one is the aggregate bridging mechanisms. Another is the fiber bridging mechanisms. After that, combine these two, how these materials behaviors. This kind of things we can see. Rajesh, I can take another 20 minutes. Rajesh?
Sir? Yes, sir. Sir, yes, sir. Go ahead. It's not an issue, sir.
Okay, thank you. Now, fiber bridging, energy dissipation depending upon this various parameters. One is that matrix fracture or matrix spalling. What is this means? Matrix fracture and matrix spalling. For example, you can assume this is the concrete. This is the concrete. So I want to embed this fiber into the concrete. Embedded into that concrete. I apply the load. Inside load. Pull this fiber. What will happen when first the matrix fracture and matrix spalling. So these areas may be stresses. You can see in that somebody is maybe cross the bond slip behavior of the reinforcement as well as the concrete. You can see this kind of thing. So some things is coming out. So you can see the small crack. And for example, this area is coming out. This area is coming out. That is called as a matrix spalling. Then fiber matrix interface debonding. Interface debonding. Fiber matrix. So cement matrix. This is a cement matrix. This is the fiber. This is the concrete. This is in between. We have the some debonding. Then post debonding fraction. Again, we apply the load. Again, we apply the load. Post debonding friction between the fiber and matrix. So in between we have the friction and friction between the matrix as well as the rock. Then pull out the fiber. Pull out means the fiber is coming out. Pull out from the fiber. What is a fiber fracture? Fiber fracture is nothing but you can apply the load. What will happen means it tends to break the small pieces like this, like a pizza you can add in pizza. So you want to put a pizza, some white color wire is coming, no? that is called as a fiber fracture. That kind of failure you can see. Other news is plastic deformation. Then of course again you can apply the load. It's coming like a small thin plate, like that is called as plastic deformation. So these are the things of fiber bridging. You can see elaborately. Now look at this figure. Look at this figure. How is this kind of things is behavior in the concrete? Now I can take this figure A is the first. Okay, this is the two portion of that concrete. This is C is concrete. C is the concrete. This is F is nothing but fiber. Let us assume this is C. Okay, fiber. Okay, now apply the load here, the tensile force here. What will happen? This subjected to tensile force. Subjected to tensile forces. So here what will happen? The matrix is falling. Due to this higher stresses, this is the weakest portion. This is the weakest portion. This is tends to failure. This tends to failure. That is called as a matrix falling. Matrix falling. Matrix is nothing but cement or cement paste or concrete or whatever it may be. That is a matrix falling. Then what is a matrix cracking means? If you may be end, it may be hoop end fiber. Hoop end fiber, due to the high stress, the bonding stress, what will happen? This area tends to crack. That is called as a matrix cracking. A matrix cracking. For example, first, look at how it is a fiber. This is the full fiber I can put in that concrete. Okay, the crack is developed in this direction. How its failures like this. So I can apply the load. Okay, apply the load in this direction. Right. First one is fiber crack friend debonding. Crack friend debonding. This area tends to debond. Due to this load, what will happen? So why not crack? It's not come here because this area is the weakest zone. So always the crack is going to propagate weakest zone. Okay. So this area is very strongest. So this propagation of crack in this direction. This area is maybe weakest. So this area tends to start. Then crack front debonding it starts. Then fiber debonding it starts. Fiber debonding means the bonding between concrete and fiber is maybe debonded. That is as a fiber debonding. Again, the load is applied. Again, load is applied. What will happen? The crack is with this increases. The fiber only is holding the two pieces. That is called as a fiber bridging mechanisms. For that, due to this friction, the forces acting here, due to the friction, this fiber tends to the forces like this. Okay, so this area is called as a fiber bridging actions. This is called as a sliding frictions. After that, further its load is happened, the fiber tends to failure. That is called as a the matrix crack, or otherwise this is called as a matrix crack. This is called as a fiber failure. Failure like this. That is called as what is that? Traction failure like this. Then after that, again his load is acting. Come to the figure C. Again this load, further his load is acting. What will happen? Here this fiber is maybe hooked end. This may be plastic deformation. You can see in the fiber. Plastic deformation you can see in the figure. This is because this is confined with the concrete. So this area is not confined with the concrete. The plastic bending is happening inside this the fiber. So this is the weakest portion. We can get the plastic bending. Yes. Now then the fiber bridgings, that is called as a debonding. So during the debonding time, the debonding is nothing but it's how much the fiber is coming down from the concrete. That is called as a debonding. So as an engineers, as a researchers, you maybe look at these areas. So what is the bond stress here? So how does this debonding is happen? How the slip is nothing but is losing this bonding. It's coming out. That is our peak forces is coming out. That is called as a slip. That is a bond slip. So this kind of things he has in the IS code also. So how can test this kind of assessment? So you may be interested means you look at this area, how the stresses develop. So why the stresses immediately drop down. So why this stress is constant one. So what is the slip ratios? What is the slip recovery? So how is this changes the curve equations? So this kind of things is maybe it may be taken the further. It's maybe during the slip also. You can apply the law, you can leave it, what will happen? Some slip residual stress stored. So that also we can calculate. So where this means, if you go for the earthquake resistant structural systems, if the load is applied, first is load is in this direction, next this direction, like this. So that kind of places, this kind of mechanism is very important. That is called as a fiber debonding. Then, if another one is a pull out, the fiber is pull out from the concrete. Different mechanism we have. Already I taken this elaborate here also. No? This is the typical example for the fiber pull out here. Then one more question they may be asked: what is the role of the hooked end fiber like this? So look at the steel fiber. The end is like this. End is like this. Some bend for this purpose also. Increasing slip bonding behavior in that concrete. Okay. So these figures shows this. This figure shows that suppose I want to put the straight fiber in the concrete. What is this deflection and the strain? The load means the curves is like this. Curves is like this. If I go for the hooked end fiber, I can go up to some external level and coming back go like this. So this much area I can get. I want to provide simple hook in that hook at the end of the fiber. Also, we can see this some crumpled fiber here. The fiber also here. We can some undulations of the fiber. This also improves. So you may be taking the research. So I can apply. I can put this steel fiber in the straight fiber. What will happen? Then crumpled fiber. The twisted fiber also. So what will happen? So this kind of mechanisms we can develop. It's very useful for the other researchers also. Then we can see one is a fiber mechanism, another one is a aggregate mechanism, aggregate bridging mechanisms. Next is combined mechanism. So due to these combined mechanisms, how these concrete properties will be enhances. For example, look at this figure. Previously, I told you that in case of fiber alone, we can have this graph like this. We can have the graph like this. If I go for that aggregate, I can consider aggregate mechanisms, aggregate bridging mechanisms. I can get more stresses in this area. So now, up to this area, this is aggregate bridging mechanisms. After that, this area's aggregate bridging mechanisms. This area, this is a fiber bridging mechanisms. This is what is the role of microfiber and a macrofiber. You can see in this figure. So this is the combined bridging mechanisms. Okay. So now I want to summarize all those things. I have another slide also. That is this kind of fiber reinforced concrete. We can apply further, expressly further. This area, this zone, that is called as what we call beam column joint model here. So you can see this kind of failure during the earthquakes, right? So these kind of things we will see in the next section. Okay. Now, this kind of fiber adding in the beam column joint model here, right? We can enhance these properties of the systems after the post-cracking behavior. These kind of things we can see another. So add the fiber in the concrete, we have the more advantages. At some extent also, due to these aggregate bridging mechanisms and the fiber mechanisms, we can enhance the structural properties, or we can enhance the properties of the system. That is a major advantages to add the fiber into the concrete. Okay. Up to this, I can conclude my talk. Thanks to this organization. Any queries I can.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thanks a lot, sir.
Yeah,
Thanks a lot for our detailed explanations about the mechanisms of fibers. I welcome that the questions and queries from the participants. Yes, sir. Sir, here my question is.
Okay.
The natural fibers we are going to use in that, no, sir. So how long it will be there in our concrete medium, sir? Because even though we are treating that is it's spoiled by that the hydration process of the cement. So in that natural fiber, how long it will be available in our structures?
Yeah, that also depending upon that the well-defined code is still not available. So with respect to the durability test only we can assess. Like ours only we do some test on that fiber, we put in the concrete or accelerated test in chamber. Then we can say this what the age is. Still we have a lot of problem. The corrosion is maybe 10%, 20%, and 30%. How long these structures may be stuck? We still have no definite mathematical model. Similarly, we have a lot of struggle. I cannot say what is the life of this steel fiber or cellulose fiber or natural fiber or synthetic fiber in the concrete. For in general, suppose you take that our olden structures, if this any wooden materials put in 100% is put in the water, no use. 100% is put in this sunlight, no use. In between, you put alternate wet and dry. That is the problem. So we want to make it this fiber is embedded in the concrete. No issues will come. Even though decay also is not formed. So for that only I can answer. Answer your questions. So no such kind of test is in our laboratory. Sorry.
Okay, sir. And one more thing, in steel fibers,
Yes.
there is a chances in the durability aspects. There is affecting chances more in the steel fibers. So for that only we are going for some non-synthetics, and as per that high volume, high modulus fiber like a carbon or the glass we are going. But still the steel is coming in the first row of high modulus fibers. So without steel, can we go for it with only glass and carbon, or glass basalt like that? Shall we go with different combinations? It's okay or satisfied with that high and low modulus strategy, sir?
Yeah, that's why. For example, your questions two aspects I want to think it. One is the durable aspects, other one is the strength aspects. I already told you that. If you want to improve the tensile property or flexural property of that any existing system, especially for the repair rehabilitation work, you go for the high modulus. Okay. Suppose I want to arrest this surface crack. I want to arrest the surface crack, or it may be shrinkage crack or plastic cracks, you go for the low modulus of fibers. So this is the one. Other aspects I observed from others, that fiber, the steel fiber in the concrete, lot of chances is tends to corrode the fiber. Possible. Then it means if the fiber is continuous one, there's a problem. Yes. The fiber is
sir, your voice is breaking. So your voice is breaking, sir.
The fiber, the problem will not be occurs. And as well as bond fiber, voice is breaking. Yeah, now is good.
Yes, now it's visible. And audible.
Okay.
Now audible. Yes, sir.
Network now visible?
Yes, sir. You are visible, but your video also strucking, sir.
I lost the connection.
Okay, okay. Sir. Then one more query is from Ratnavel Ponnuswamy, sir.
Okay.
Would you like to know, sir, that use of plastic materials, say PET bottles, extracts as a fibers?
Okay.
PET bottles, extracts.
Yeah. This kind of I'm not across that. One of my professors did this work.
Then
one of my professors.
Yes. Another question is there any aggregate bridging problem when we use alternative to river sand like a M sand as a fine aggregate?
That is no issue. What are the things means? What are the property we have existing river sand? The same property match with this our artificial sand also. So what are the problems is facing this river sand? The same problem will be occur in that artificial sand also. So it may be improve the flakiness index of that fine aggregate itself. It may be improve the bridging mechanism in the fiber reinforcement. That's we want to take care of. We further study is needed.
Thank you, sir.
In this area, yeah.
Thank you, sir. And one more thing I want to add, sir, here. That is normally the outer side, what we are getting, they are named as a M sand. Some people they are delivering actual M sand, but some people are not delivering the actual M sand. They are just dumping the quarry dust. They name it as a M sand. Actually, some process they has to go. They has to remove the dust particles. That may be happen because in the local buildings, even in our college side and our residential building, people also they are asking that the M sand is not good as like a river sand, but it is because of the purchase source where we are getting well, they have sold that entire quarry dust in the name of M sand. So that is also a problem. This is I want to add here, sir, because in the normal areas we are facing this problem also.
So this is not your problem or your area problem. This is a universal problem also. So we want to cultivate our student community as well as our engineers. So first we have some experience. How can reject the cement? How can accept the cement for the physical testing? And how can observe our naked eyes? It may be first class brick or second class brick, so on. So similarly, we need some time span. Then only we can say this concrete, this kind of aggregates may be quarry dust or M sand or B sand, whatever it may be. So we want to expose some testing methodologies, very easy test for the field engineers, as for it may be our students. It's very easy identify it may be a good sand or bad sand. Even though we have a lot of struggle, we want to market our B sand or M sand because already nearly about 3 or 4 decades we are highly involved this river based sand. So immediately we want to switch over this sand. It takes very more more time. Then only the people accept this kind of. That is the problem. In future, definitely we can. They have the very good method we can develop easily. That's what the simple method is. So what suppose any consultancy works is came to our institute. What we did means first we wash the sand. We can know. So nobody is to wash the sand. So similarly, wash the sand, you can get how much dust particles is have. If some particles is maybe in top of the beaker, you can easily identify. So simple things, the more people doing this kind of things. And also, then you first what is the code is says you want to wash the shirt, then you can use. Nobody is washing. So that is the problem. So this maybe these kind of things is taken into account. These come to the regular practice, definitely solve the problems. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Thank you,
This
sir.
is my point of view.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sir, I think Sunil sir.
No. It was so wonderful that it contributed a great value to the knowledge. Nothing to ask, just to appreciate. That's all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. And any other queries? I think they got the full detailed mechanisms of FRC in that concrete, sir. Anyhow, thank you, sir. Thank you so much. It was a great presentations, and we gone through, even as a civil engineers, we know some things in that mechanisms in the fiber based one. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. On behalf of our Department of Civil Engineering and SR Engineering College, I place my sincere gratitude to you for accepting our invitations and presenting that wonderful lessons to us. Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot, sir.
Thank you, Rajesh. Thank you very much. Thank you, participants. Thank you very much.
So all the participants, you can be at now time is 11:40. Take 15 minutes time and be at 11:55. 55, sir. Then we can fastly we can complete that next session, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.